I recently wrote an article in White Coat Investor about a young dentist in Arizona and his debt. Well, let's summarize the situation. First of all, he and his wife have incurred $480,000 worth of debt since he graduated from dental school in 2013. They also have a $155,000 home loan, along with a new minivan that has a loan for $28,000 and $13,000 in credit card debt. That's a fair amount. The reason he wrote me is that he would like to buy a dental practice within the next year for $500,000. He's hoping that he'll clear or have a net of $200,000 worth of income in the first year. Well, his total debt right now is $675,000. He's paying around $4,500 a month, or about $55,000 a year just to service this debt. That comes to about a third of his total income. You never should have more than 25% of your income in either personal or practice debt. He's way above that right now. Plus, he'd like to purchase that practice. If he does, he'll have $1.2 million in debt. The monthly payments to service that debt, assuming he takes out a 10-year practice loan, will be $10,000 a month, or $120,000 a year. Well, the income needed for that is around $160,000 a year. So if he can earn $200,000, and that's a big if, $160,000 of it will go to debt service. He'll have $40,000 left per year to pay for personal items for his family, including his wife and several children. This is not good. He may be heading for trouble. Well, in the article I talked about Phil Tyson, who's a psychologist, and he has two major points for professionals in particular. One is that we often use something called future discounting. Future discounting, that's when you go to a car dealership or budgeting $25,000 for a new car, and all of a sudden it's $40,000. Well, the future discounting comes into, well, the payments aren't that much, and we can get a 7-year loan rather than a 4 or 5-year loan, and maybe we'll have to work harder. Future discounting. The other biggie for Tyson is the relationship we have between consumption and personal identity. That's huge in America. We all know that. We tie ourselves to our cars, our houses, our accessories that we wear. Our image is important. Okay, well, let's go a little further on here. Dr. John Gathersgood, in particular, who's an economist, said recently that medical providers often are in financial denial also. Well, what are the symptoms? Not sticking to a budget. Also, not wanting to open bank statements or credit card statements. How many of us don't want to open those things? I think it's a lot. What's the outcome? He says that those that struggle with loans they are twice as likely to have severe anxiety or depression. In other words, the stress levels go up a lot when you have loan trouble. I think this doctor may be heading for some stress and anxiety in the near future. We'll follow him, see if he buys that practice, what happens, and how he deals with it in a future article and a future video.